Letitia James also pulling an Adam Schiff. And believe me, this one's fresh. This is 2023 we're talking about, where she put herself down in the power of attorney of having a residence in Virginia that was her primary residence. Oh, well, she was the attorney general in the state of New York. Unbelievable to me, these people, what they'll try to get away with. Well, Letitia's going down too, and she knows it, which is why she's starting to freak out more and more and more. I think her last appearance had her really channeling Rev Sharpton. Does he give like consulting lessons on the side? Oh, is that what Kamala paid $500,000 for? Or just an interview on MSNBC with the Rev? I don't know. But they like it. Letitia James getting all kind of reverendy on us. She's freaking out because she is going to be met with a really bad fate. If not because of the alleged fraud, if not because the Second Court of Appeals in the state of New York is going to throw away her case, possibly disbar her, but because she's also going to get voted out of office. I got the numbers. New Yorkers are done with her. Watch.
And you want me to sit in my seat and stand idly by and allow this craziness to happen? You can come after me if you want, but you elected me to stand up. You elected me to use the law. You elected me to go to court. You elected me to continue to challenge this administration. You elected me to stand up for the least of God's children. You elected me to continue fighting on, and I will fight on.
You keep fighting, honey bunny, because it's not going to get you anywhere. Nope. I'm looking at the numbers, you guys. Take a look. Attorney General Letitia James, in the most recent polling, she's not doing so well. Her favorables compared to the I don't know and the unfavorables, overwhelmingly the unfavorables and the don't knows suggest that Letitia James is going to be voted out of office there as AG. So that's a little tough love for her, but can you blame them? I mean, even the media is starting to turn on her. New York Magazine had a title story called Letitia James Campaign on the Ropes. And then there was another one recently in the New York Times basically saying this is all of her own doing. I mean, when you're losing New York Magazine, when you're losing the New York Times, Letitia James, you've just lost. Because you see, people don't want you taking the $10 million of taxpayer money to have to go and fight your own personal case. It's your own personal mistake and your own personal business when you buy a home and you decide to say via your power of attorney, oh, you say it's a mistake, nothing to see here. But she's the one that said that it was her primary residence. And did she benefit from a lower mortgage rate? This is another big question. I'm still, though, and I got to tell you guys, in all honesty, I'm really annoyed that we have not heard back from the Court of Appeals, and I find that super suspicious because I've showed you over and over again excerpts from that. I went through the entire tape and listened to Judith Vale. She was representing Letitia James in the appellate court and her side of things. I heard what the judges, 5 of them, had to say, and they were pretty overwhelming in their total disgust for that case being brought against one Donald Trump, not to mention the $500 million plus that just grows every single day, right, with interest that he allegedly owes in this big fine. It'll all get eventually kicked out of court, but it bothers me that it hasn't happened already. And don't sit there and tell me that they're busy and that the docket is full, because this is a big one. And I suspect somebody is using this as some kind of collateral to hang out over his head. But even in that case, if it eventually winds up in the Supreme Court, they're not going to have a leg to stand on. Not with Letitia James. Too many mistakes, too rabid a prosecutor, and she does not deserve to have that job, period, full stop. But now they're calling on Letitia James to possibly investigate and sue CBS because CBS decided to get rid of Stephen Colbert. I mean, this is wild to me. I get that they're communists over there in some parts of the country, but they think that you should have a show that doesn't make any money continue to be in operation. That's a new one. Yeah. So they've got all these unions. The Writers Guild is asking New York Attorney General Letitia James to investigate the Colbert cancellation. They want criminal prosecution. No, not criminal. Forgive me. They just want an investigation. They're alleging that there was somehow some kind of Trump bribe that CBS did. That CBS was like, I want Colbert gone. Trust me, if he wanted anybody gone, it would have been 60 Minutes. Okay, I think 60 Minutes was a little bit higher on his radar scale than one Colbert. But Letitia James is now reportedly going to try and look into this one. You know, Colbert,